I'm at one of the trails that goes around the back of Mount Melville here in Albany, and these amazing granite monoliths, these granite rocks. So yeah, there's Serpentine Road down there, and as you sort of come down this way, you see this metal gate, and then you kind of just walk past this gate and you've got this beautiful forest. It's a small forest, and through here it's just a gorgeous walk that goes downhill. Eventually it brings you out down on Carlisle Street or Grey Street West. So I just wanted to get out today. I've just been sat in the last 2 days because it's been absolutely horrible weather in Albany. We've had some bloody awful storms. Of course, the Bureau of Meteorology just say we only get 5 storms a year like this. Of course, that's a bunch of shit, because we've had about 10 down here in the Great Southern this winter alone. So, Ministry of Propaganda at work as usual. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Considering that we're actually in the middle of the town. And you can hear some car noise in the background. It's actually relatively quiet here and quite serene. Apologies if any of the audio is a bit crappy. This is kind of like the second time I'm using this GoPro. And this is the GoPro 11 Black, which isn't the current GoPro, but it's got pretty good, decent 5.3 quality video at pretty high bit rates. And I just really wanted to get out. As I said, been sat in the house for the past couple of days, actually more, because the last time I was out was on Saturday, and the weather went absolute foul on Sunday, Monday, and only today, Tuesday, it's actually been reasonably nice. So anyway, this is a nice pathway to get out. Come and bring your children or your dog and have a gentle walk. It's more big rocks. Another place to go, which I think is slightly better than this, but it's actually different, is Harewood Forest at Denmark. Now that is a real forest. Don't get me wrong, these trees here are gorgeous. You know, I mean, look at that. Incredible rocks up there again. I mean, the trees are not massive here, but I love trees. Trees get my respect. You see, they go on about, you know, global warming and climate change, and then what do? They continue to keep chopping trees down. Why aren't they planting trees everywhere? Why have we got this mentality of not just deforestation, which has been going on for centuries, if not millennia, but in the last 100 years, why haven't we got the policy of replacing tree for tree? I mean, okay, it takes a long time for trees to get mature. As a former horticulturist, I know my stuff about trees. But even when you're looking around the average suburban and urban parts of Australia, in the cities, the towns, the villages, the suburbs, there are barely any trees anywhere. Saying that though, at least Denmark here in WA do make an effort. But Albany, well, yeah, fine, there's pockets like this, but there needs to be more of this. It's just truly beautiful to get out in nature and breathe in that oxygen. You see, again, they're going on and on and on as propaganda about carbon dioxide levels are increasing in the atmosphere. Well, plants will love that. Have they forgot about plants' needs? Plants need carbon dioxide to thrive. So where is this bullshit coming from? Now I know people who may watch this video will not agree with me, may not even like what I'm saying. I don't really care. I have my own personal convictions about things based upon my observations, you know, since a child and growing up into a middle-aged person as I am now, which I'm, you know, I'm not ashamed of. But I would say that I think these governments and these organisations need to employ more horticulturists who can educate them about how oxygen and carbon dioxide work with plants. This to me, although it's not a paradise, I choose this any day over some suburban concrete, steel, a fancy pool, or 5 or 6 4-wheel drives that a lot of people call the Aussie dream. That is not the Aussie dream. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for being prosperous. I think everybody should be given a fair go of being prosperous. Fortunately, it's not quite the case, and so only a few seem to have that privilege. But to me, this is worth more than all those riches. This is just beautiful. No money can buy this. So the landscape changes a little bit now, and there's some exposed granite with all these little purple freesia flowers everywhere, which I personally really like. I know the local lefty wokey environmentalists amongst us will hate this because they're not natives. Well, what harm are they doing? So we've had a lot of rain. The pathway, the trail is very heavily muddied, full of puddles. I've got to be careful. Anyway, getting back to this walk. This walk can take you in a few directions. It can take you on the main, what I call the trail that goes down to, joins up eventually with the Bibleman track down at Grey Street, west, oops. Or it can take you on one of a couple or a few trails that go up to the peak of Mount Melville, which is just up there in the distance. So this is the point of where the path or the trail divides, goes back up there, which eventually takes you back to Serpentine Road. But this is the path that will eventually take you up to Mount Melville, which is what we're going to try and do. Well, I managed to get through that okay. Alright, let's carry on. So, still a bit muddy up here. Wow, lots of snowdrops. So yeah, you need some decent walking shoes to come out on this trail. Can be a bit slippery in places as well. So this is the path that takes you up towards Mount Melville, which I'm just taking my time because it's pretty flooded and sticky, slippery, and as they say, don't walk. Look at that beautiful plant. Don't walk on the black, especially when it's on granite and rocks. It can be dangerous. You'll hit your ass pretty quick. It has happened to me in the past. Some more of these amazing shrubs without flowers. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, a bit out of breath. It is uphill. It's not steep, it's just a gentle incline. And there's a view. There's prawn groups in the distance there, 30 odd kilometers away. Oh, we have a lake. So that is Mount Melville, which of course this path takes you up there. There's at least a couple of ways to get up. They're not too bad, they're moderate. You just need to watch your footing. I love these flowers as well, like a star flower. These are native to this region, and they have quite a sort of a sticky leaf. So it's like the Twin Peaks. There's Mount Clarence there in the distance. There's a few ways to get up the top of Mount Melville. There is kind of what I call the hardest way, which brings you up behind these huge boulders that you can see up the top there near the peak. It can be a bit precarious up there, especially after rains, where the rocks can be slippery and possibly dangerous even. The other way is there like another trail that goes off a bit, and then the easiest way is the trail that runs off to, I would say, the left, and eventually it brings you out to where the actual drive is that goes up from Serpentine Road. That kind of runs along like a drainage sort of channel, and that's kind of a nice way, and I think that's the way I might go. So this path here, if you go that way, it takes you back down towards the Grey Street West, sort of, that runs parallel, sort of north to south really. We're not going to do that one today, we'll come back one day and do that. But this way is the way I want to take to the drainage channel. So it starts to climb here now, you just got to watch these tree roots. Some more incredible rocks here. Well, there's a bit of rain incoming. Forgive me, a bit out of breath. Right, okay, I've got about 4 trails here of them all merged into one. That's the one that takes you up to the huge rocks, the massive boulders that takes you up to the what we call the spark plug. This one up here is the one we're going to go on up there to the drainage channel, and that one takes you back to Serpentine Road. A little bit steep here, not too bad, just got to watch these stones and the odd tree roots. Whew. Definitely good for the cardiovascular system, that's for sure. There's a bush here that's always interested me. It's got like star-like leaves. Does anyone know what this is called? It's got these tiny little flowers. Look at the moss. Like a green carpet of Ireland. Isn't it beautiful? So Hardenbergia violacea, possibly, or maybe the other one. Wow. Incredible. Yep, incredible is a word I use often in my videos. I say it without even knowing. There's the first glimpse of town down there, and Mount Clarence. Well, I just then passed an elderly gentleman. He must have been in his late 80s doing this walk. It's fantastic to see such senior people out here, you know, looking after themselves. I mean, we're blessed to have, you know, these two hills really, because both of these hills, Mount Melville where we're on now, and that one over there is Mount Clarence that looks over town, have both got these amazing kind of bush nature reserves, and so you can sort of come and enjoy nature on your doorstep. Now look at this view. This is Albany, looking out to Oyster Harbour there, the top right, and then the Stirling Ranges in the far distance. So we just need to navigate these horizontal steps because they may be a bit slippery. I'm just going to take my time. Not too bad. Now, if you look at this rock here, that black there is actually algae, and that is dangerous, very slippery. It may as well just be ice. So that's the horizontal ladders, as we call them here, and just down these steps which I'm on, more flowers of course, we've got the drainage channel now that runs, I think it runs about 200 meters or so, I'm not too sure, but I'm just taking my time here because it's a little bit precarious and could be slippy, so I don't want to slip. And it brings us out here at the end of this channel, which is right by the drive. There's the drive that takes you up to this roundabout, and then it continues up to the top where the spark plug is. So another way to come in is to this car park here, which has a trail that comes off it, which is the one we'll be taking. Some tourists. Yep, take pictures. There's a lot more of that horrible black algae on the rocks. Unfortunately, the sun is not shining. I wish I could have shown you this beautiful, glorious harbour and the King George Sound in the distance. But as usual, we get 10 seasons in one day. It's a shame that we've not got quite the nice weather at the moment. And it's actually trying to rain. And I'm trying to be very careful here because some of these rocky paths here are just very slippery. So I'm just going very slow. But you know, as I was saying, the forecast said sunny today. Now, don't get me wrong, it was sunny. It was sunny this morning. But I wasn't inspired to come out because I had other things to do. It's very slippery around here. So that pathway down there, I think it takes you down to Grey Street West and the Bibbleman Track. That's one of the ways. And this way takes you up to the lookout that shows you right across the harbour, across to Little Grove. Now it's trying to rain, unbelievable. I don't have a brolly. And there we go. More bloody rocks. Despite the gloomy, damp weather, it's still quite nice to come out here, see the view, keep moving. Yeah, they said sunny for today, and we know that the local department or Bureau of Meteorology often, let's just say, True factor about 40%. And then in a few months' time, when summer hits, it will dry for 6 months. This is how effed up that the climate is. Thanks to a certain Bill Gates, who seems intent on fucking up the climate by putting his filtration experiments in the air. Not only this is an absolute gorgeous view when the sun's out, so you're now seeing Albany as us locals sadly have to endure most days. I will come back up here another time when definitely the sun is guaranteed to shine. So I'm just going to head towards the spark plug now. I think there's a bit of shelter there, but by the time I get there, this shower may well have stopped anyway. Very windy as well. Well, good job I got a GoPro, isn't it? Apologies for the audio and the wind. We've had enough of the rain. We want some sunshine. We've got vitamin C deficiencies because it's always effing raining and cloudy. Carry on. I hope this has not put you off. I think some of us do like to be out in the rain anyway. It's quite refreshing, really. Again, very slippery. Just be careful. I'm just walking around the edge, taking me time. I've got reasonably good walking shoes on. I've got a pair of Merrell Moab Free, which are about the best of the kind of medium range budget. They're not budget, but they're not the top of the range either, but they're in the middle somewhere. But tell you what, they're pretty well made, and the soles do last several years. They've got the Vibram soles, and so they tend to be quite hard wearing and very grippy. It's quite an interesting landscape here though. More of the freesias everywhere. You got lots of moss, weedy grasses, and small native plants and things all mingled together. But despite the dreary day, we've still got lots of colour. Wasn't it gorgeous before when we started this trip? I bet everywhere else has got blue skies. Albany seems to get ripped off with the climate. It really does. It gets all the worst shitty weather in winter, and then summer is just freaking easterly winds, dry everything out, and no rain. We don't get it too hot, thankfully, but everything dries out. It's crazy. It's a crazy climate. It's just annoying. Oh dear, looks like it's heading this way. I hope not. So there in the distance again is the spark plug, or the tip of Mount Melville, where the radio towers are. We saw them before from the back end. So now we're kind of on the eastern side, or southeastern side. More of this awful algae infested granite. Gonna step onto little dry islands. So we carry on down here. You can continue down this particular, what is it, a drainage? Is it a drainage channel thing? That takes you down towards Grey Street West as well, but we're going to go up here towards the lookout, also known as the spark plug. And when I get there, you'll see why it's called the spark plug. Kind of gets a bit interesting here. The pathway now takes us over these granite slabs, but again, exercise caution. Rain's coming down again. Not good. There we go. In the distance there, if you can see it, is the Mount Melville lookout. I'm sorry the weather hasn't been so good towards the end of this video. Yeah, just down there, you can make out there's a park bench. That's where the other path comes up, the other trail. It brings us out there in a future video. So there you go, from Mount Melville. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, please like and share. It's a new channel, I really want to build it up, and the content is going to be various things, not just rants and complaining and stuff like that, though sometimes it is justified, but it will be showing beautiful places, beautiful scenery. And yet this place is still beautiful despite the absolute awful windy and relatively cold weather I'm experiencing by now. So see you in the next video. Bye for now. These are these amazing rock formations that who knows how they got there, but this view I'm trying to show you here is another way of coming up here, but at the moment it's probably really slippery, so I didn't want to chance it. But these rocks are incredible. There's my incredible word again. On a future video, on the next, not the next one, but on a future video, I definitely will be coming back up here on a nice day when it's going to be really, really sunny, and show you what we have here. It's quite a lovely spot to come and just sit out, enjoy the view. Well, I couldn't miss an opportunity to get the rainbow in the distance there. On another park bench to sit out and enjoy the view from up this side as well. So this is the actual drive that brings you out from the roundabout from earlier on I've shown you, and over there is the car park for the lookout with the beautiful rainbow behind it, which brings you out here to the spark plug. Hello, baby magpie.